Folks, please say hello to Dan Frischman. Dan.
I was born in the ye old town of Whippany, New Jersey. I was never the class clown. Nor particularly outgoing. Or funny. I saw some magic shows and wanted to try my hand at doing some magic tricks. I got some tricks from the back of a Boy's Life magazine. By the time I was 15, I was doing maybe 4 shows a weekend. I performed for birthday parties mostly. It was always like 4 to 10-year-old kids. My parents felt that it was a hobby that gave me confidence. I don't think they ever felt I was going to go into showbiz. I mean, my father was a CPA and Mom's a second-grade teacher, so I'm going to go to college and get a good job. They just thought this was going to be something I would do as a sideline. I set fire to a birthday girl once.
Oh my God. How did that happen?
Well, I had the girl lying on a board, and there's a puff of smoke. The flash pot caught fire to the cloth, so there's a little flame going on there. Meanwhile, I'm batting it with a newspaper, you know. There's no strings, no strings. Kids later were saying, you know, Mommy, the magician set Cindy on fire, you know. And the parents were like, ooh, was it scary? Ooh. Went to Penn State University and was getting into the shows there. And I was so anxious to be in showbiz that I left after 2 years and headed to New York and started doing stand-up comedy. My first shows were at the Comic Strip nightclub on the Upper East Side of New York, and I'd go on at 2 in the morning for like 5 people who were there because they'd missed their bus. Welcome, guys. You want to come in and have a seat? Nice to see you. Do you have a note? We're just going to stare at you. One night I started reading the bus schedules and I got a standing ovation. Well, they were getting up to leave, actually. I didn't get very far. When I first got to Los Angeles, I headed right to the Comedy Store, which was like the mecca of stand-up. Within a year, I was getting regular spots on the show. I found out my old horses move when they hear. It's the sound of a gun cocking. And also lived in a house with 7 other comedians in the hills above the store. My roommates were like Andrew Dice Clay and Yakov Smirnov, and we'd have big parties and all the comics would be up there. I wanted to break into television, but I didn't have an agent. I got my very first job by knocking on doors and walking into casting directors' offices and trying to charm the secretaries with my magic tricks. Well, it led to my first line on a TV show called Making a Living.
Frankie, from now on, you'll walk Miss Beebe to her car. Every night. You understand?
Baby to the car.
Thanks to that role, I was able to get attention from an agent, and they started sending me out for other parts. My first big guest star spot was on a show called Facts of Life. I played Carl Pizza Face Price. They put acne all over my face to make me one of the undesirables.
Blair.
I was also very fortunate to work with some TV greats like Tony Randall, Carol O'Connor, and when I was asked to be on The Paper Chase starring John Houseman, I thought, great, a meaty dramatic role. But no, they cast me as a tap-dancing telegram bug. Here, Houseman's teaching me how to use the method technique for my role. I was doing the movie Get Crazy.
Have you seen my makeup case?
Not now, darling. Can't you see I'm busy?
I saw it downstairs.
Did? Would you be an angel and get it for me?
I'd die for you. I really felt like I was getting ahead in show business when I was released for a few days in order to do an episode of Newhart.
I'm from the mortuary. Oh, right.
Well, somewhere along the line I turned 27 and I'm thinking, great, now I'll get to play accountants and dads and adult parts. And I got a call from my agent and he said, you have an audition tomorrow to play a 16-year-old high school nerd. I went, what, me, 16, and a nerd? All I was very quickly cast as Arvid in Head of the Class. The ironic thing is that Arvid was a math whiz, and I was so bad at math that whenever they gave me like a paragraph of math jargon, I would write it on Robin Gibbons' chair.
Algebra, two equivalent triangles, simple ratios, B equals D times C over A.
We had a lot of dream sequences on Head of the Class, which were always fun because I would get to do a lot of different types of things. Like I was a janitor aboard the Starship Enterprise. I was Bruce Willis in Moonlighting. And I got to play Ed Norton to Dan Snyder's Ralph in Honeymooners.
Now, huh?
Hey, hey, Ralphie boy!
You're looking at him.
Norton! Norton?
He was a genius in high school, right, Norton?
That's right, Ralph. I could have been a rocket scientist. Instead, I'm a subterranean fluvial engineer.
What are you talking about? You work in a sewer.
Well, let me put it this way. I go with the flow. When the kids put on the show Little Shop of Horrors, I got to play Seymour, which had been a dream of mine. After Head of the Class ended, I went back to doing stand-up comedy.
Special guest, Dan Frischman.
Thank you. Wow. I also did guest spots on popular TV shows. Hello.
Hello, is this Jerry Seinfeld?
Yes, it is.
You don't know me, but a really strange thing happened. I was at a garage sale, and this old couple sold me a used pair of sneakers they claimed belonged to Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian.
That's it?
All we have. There is a storage locker up at Lompoc. They'd be closed by now, though.
Still, could you get that address for us? Please?
Wait here.
Then I spent 4 years on Nickelodeon's Keenan and Kel show playing the boss. In one episode, I also played my own brother.
You bought Rigby's?
That's right, Chrissy. I figured that with my golden touch, I could turn even a dump like this into a winner.
So this means that you're gonna be my new boss now?
Imagine that, Chrissy. You are going to be working for me. I also returned to my roots in the theater, creating my own shows, as well as vehicles for other people. I think the best show I wrote was called About Faith. I played a Jewish stockbroker who falls for a devout Catholic woman whose father is a deacon with the church.
You ever talk to God just on your own?
So I should talk to God. Well, he's left a few messages I've been meaning to get. I'm also excited about my first novel, which will be coming out soon. It's for the 10 to 14-year-old market, but hopefully will be enjoyed by everybody. Jackson and Jenks is about two kids who are amateur magicians, and a supernatural occurrence turns them into real magicians who can do anything, and then becomes a careful what you wish for type of story. Whether it's been performing magic at neighborhood birthday parties or appearing on TV.
Are you the officer in charge of all these animals?
Yes, ma'am. What can I do for you?
I've spent a lot of time in people's living rooms.
Did you get those little red marks in your nose when you take off your glasses?
I've been at this for a while now, and I know that show business can be a pretty precarious career. But I'm always acting, writing, and directing, and I know the best is yet to come.